Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday show. Again, my YouTube has decided to dump on me for some reason. I'm not sure what's going on. Oh, now it's turkey. Whenever we go to run the show, the first thing that happens is the network connection goes crazy. I have no idea what's going on. We were fine all night. As soon as it got close to 9 o'clock, everything died. Anyway, I'm Hammer, and I'm joined by two of my favorite Minions hosts, Genty Maxi.
Hello.
And Terry DeMantis.
Hello.
How you doing, Jen?
I'm good.
Terry?
Yeah, not bad. I woke up and I was like unbelievably dehydrated, and I don't know why. It took like 3 cups of tea before I started feeling normal. But I'm fine now. It was just really bad when I woke up.
I had one of those evenings or one of those 24-hour periods where I couldn't sleep all the way through, like a full 7 hours. I slept like 3 hours, then I woke up, and then I slept like another 2 hours, and I woke up again, and then I slept another 2 hours. It's just really...
no, that's pretty typical for me. That happens a lot.
I used to be like a dead sleeper. I'd be like out for 7 hours straight, and it was not a problem. But I think my diet has changed a little bit. I've gotten kind of hooked on iced tea, and I think the caffeine's fucking with me a little bit. That made me... I made sure I looked at the clock to make sure we had at least 1 minute into the show before I started cursing. Yeah,
good old iced tea. I mean, I've never heard his rap, but I did like him on
Before we get into topics, let's go ahead and see who's in chat tonight.
Oh, and Frosted points out that your avatar is not showing on YouTube.
You're right, it's not. It was earlier, but it's decided not to. Before we get into that, let me go ahead and fix my avatar. I should be able to only...
He's Hammer in the Night. You just know him as the American Hammer in the Night.
That's not a black hole. That's just a close-up of T's forehead.
Flag is not the problem. It's the Hammer avatar.
You just leveled up as an Aussie according to Frost.
Yeah, that's all right.
Oh, while he's doing that, we can always greet people too. Hi, Caverdan. Hi, also Terry. Hi, Spud. Hi, Frosted. Just talked about you. Hi, Mash. I saw you posted a lot last week. I've watched a few of them, and I tend to like those, just so that you get some support. I just don't click on everything because I can't watch everything. I don't have time.
My avatar should be fixed now. So.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Got people on Rumble I haven't said hi to.
Yes, we could start with Rumble. Tier was here early. He was like 8:20. Tier is awesome. He was the first person in Rumble chat, and
Johnny.
Johnny Hellcat was next. Our Thursday night host tomorrow night. Make sure you go out and check his channel out tomorrow night. You're 11:30, right, Johnny? And then
Green Badge
Spud Gun.
Oh.
What's that?
Oh, no, you're good.
So Spud Gun was on Rumble, and Green Badger Outdoors, who is only Green Badger on Rumble. He lost the outdoor. That's Green Badger Indoors on Rumble.
I guess so, yeah.
And I think that's everybody on the Rumble machine. On YouTube, I'm running out. I need another monitor. I have 3 monitors, and I don't have room for my own personal chat. It's great that YouTube gives me the option to use Minions of the Zoo's channel to chat. I could say stuff as Minions of the Zoo because I'm broadcasting on the channel, so I have access to being its chat on that. But I want to use my own name because it's me talking. The name of the show, that's the professional side. So trying to keep that chat and Rumble chat and my chat and the interface to Rumble and the interface to YouTube, OBS for Rumble, OBS for YouTube, and StreamYards, and my show notes and the music player. I'm out of monitors, man. I ain't getting no more room. So let me
start dangling them from the ceiling. And...
I actually have one behind me that's mounted to the wall, but I need much longer cables. So I'm going to use that. I don't think my machine can handle more than 3. I mean, it has 4 outs, but I think that NVIDIA cards can only do 3 at a time. But the
Okay.
fourth one is HDMI. The regular 3 monitors I'm using are DisplayPort. So I don't think you can actually do 4. Even though there's 4 plugs, I don't think you can actually run 4 at a time. First person on YouTube was Keeverdam. Hi, sweetie. And Spud Gun, you're there on, and Frosted Glass. We're not broadcasting in 3D tonight, Frosted, just so you know. And Mash is at there. Hi, Mash. Haven't seen you in a while. Since last week. And is that everybody? Oh no.
We got Costin.
Yeah.
OG Cost. I'm gonna have to bring the YouTube chat closer because I just can't see it on the other monitor. CG Grizzly B92HD.
Yep.
Yes.
That was the
Get that
last one. I was gonna wait on that one because I'm gonna just shorten that to Grizzly because it's easier.
Grizzly. Probably should have done that myself. Hello, JB and OG Costin. And of course, we'll have people boo. We will have people who will join us as the night goes on. I'm keeping an eye on the network meter. It's on everybody's screen. Typically, if it dunks on you, just go ahead and refresh your screen, and it should bring the stream back up for you. So hopefully, Comcast gets their act together. I don't know why 9 o'clock is such a big problem for them, but it is what it is.
I think that that's when you want to stream. It's like, okay,
that's what it is. Let's just fuck over a hammer. Okay, thank you very much. So the topics for this evening, I guess I should probably explain those. We've got 4 topics. Who knows what we're going to get to tonight? Truck of Peace, a U-Haul attacked the barrier outside of the White House, and Biden is afraid that he's going to be killed by it. RonTwit, DeSantis, I don't know if it's happening right now, or if it already happened, or if it's going to happen, I don't know. But Ron DeSantis is going to use a Twitter space with Elon running it to let everybody know that he's running for president, which his entourage has already told us yesterday that he would be announcing today, which in itself means he actually already did announce, but he's going to officially announce what his crew said.
To be a surprise? Was there anyone who thought he wasn't going to?
I'm very, the skeptic I am. I'm like, unless I see him actually do it, then he didn't do it. I was holding out the entire time.
No,
so
I'm just saying that. Was anyone surprised that he did it? Was there anyone who's like, wait, Ron DeSantis is running?
Maybe not that kind of surprise, but I was not sure that he was ever going to really do it. I thought he was just hinting around to cause a little controversy. But I mean, I was open to that possibility. But yeah, I kind of
I just took it as a given that he would. He just had to wait until the right time because, there's laws around fundraising. Once he's officially announced, there's all these restrictions.
Everything changes.
I think he just wanted to push it as far back as he could.
Yeah. Black is Red. This is a little
reference to Johnny Hellcat, who is both a black cat and a Native American.
No, not this time, but BLM is insolvent and going bankrupt.
Yay.
They are now officially in the red. Black Lives Matter is in the red. Black is Red. And then finally Targeted. Target tells Bud Light to hold their beer. They've decided to make a tuck-friendly swimwear for children.
I saw that.
Binding clothes for children, for women to bind their chests.
I'm only throwing this out here because if none of you have seen it yet, Alex Stein did this little stint where he's walking around a Target wearing one of those bathing suits. And in all honesty, if you really wanted some of this stuff to stop, if more of you guys wanted to do that, and I know it requires being a little bit brave, honestly, teenage girls don't want to see what looks like a dad walking around in their clothing.
That's brilliant.
Well, that was a meme going around on Twitter where this dad was freaking out because his daughter was trans. So he kind of decided, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be trans too. And then obviously he just puts on a wig and makeup and tries to embarrass her at school. And then apparently within 24 hours, she's like, you know what? I don't want to be trans anymore.
Yeah.
It might be the thing to do. Believe it or not, it works with anime too. If you just suddenly dress up as Inuyasha and watch it obsessively, and then pretend to call your wife, call
No, but
me.
I think it's just playing on the fact that whatever your parents do is automatically lame, and like kids will stop liking something if their parents get into it. And so that was like a joke on South Park where Chin Pokemon was like taking over the kids' lives. So the parents pretended to be interested in it, and they're like, this is lame now," and then they stopped being interested in it.
Mash says, I find it a nice coincidence that you're talking about Target shortly after Lauren Chen posted a video about it. I don't know when Lauren Chen posted her video, but I send the show notes to Barry and Jen before the show.
Okay.
And my show
I
notes,
think it's pretty clear what happened. She has stolen our show notes.
yes,
And
that's exactly what it
trying
is.
to beat us to the punch.
But I sent my show notes out to the group at 3:45 today because I want everybody who's in the, you know, both the hosts, all three of us, be on the page for what the show is going to be about, so they have a chance to go out on YouTube and. Yeah, we have a tactical advantage. It's 3-on-1. But yeah, you know, other people have done YouTube. I'm sure have done YouTube stuff on a lot of these things, but I get almost all of my stuff from Twitter. And just to add insult to injury, Lauren Chen has blocked me on Twitter. I used to be a huge fan of hers, but obviously I said something or did something. I don't have no idea what what it is that I did. I mean, I do have an idea, but it wasn't anything that was even remotely blockable. But she blocked me, so I was like, I'm not such a big fan of you anymore.
Nah, that's understandable.
I expect the conservative side to have a little more balls than the liberal, lefty, progressive side, especially the progressives. You can't even walk past them without them losing their minds. But I expect the conservatives to have a little bit more fortitude.
I mean, as with most people, I've been blocked by Steve Shives without ever once having said anything to him.
Yeah.
It's like Lion Patriot said to Sugar Tits the other day. His lips still glisten whenever he speaks.
Yeah, he just did a video. I saw it was kind of a green screen video just not a couple days ago. That's kind of generated a little bit of a buzz too. So I didn't put that on the thing here because, and that whole thing with you being blocked by Shives, him and Christy and a couple other people have a block list. So if they block somebody, then that gets exported to all their friends, and all their friends import their block list and block the same people.
I know that Will Wheaton actually like offers his block list to be downloaded. So if you're like, I trust Will Wheaton's judgment, then shame on you. But if you are that person who does, you can get Will Wheaton's block list and just import it to your own, and then you can block me because Will Wheaton has blocked me.
Oh, jeez. Matt says,
and again, I've not said a single word to Will Wheaton ever in my life, and he still blocked me.
Yeah, he's a big blocker anyway. Mash says she posted her video an hour ago. So you're right. She copied off us. There's no doubt. Yeah. There's no doubt.
Yeah. On another side note, that's kind of concurrent to the target. Sugar Tits also did a video this morning, and I know I'm shilling a lot for her, but she gave me a heart for my she gave me a heart for my comment. Because the entire time she was talking about her super sexy lady bulge with her nice avatar with the lady bulge, I said I hoped. Well, I had this image of her doing that in the same room with Bering, which I know she did, and that the entire time he must have had that look go from like what to oh good God no. And so I told her if I could find somebody with any kind of artistic talent, I would meme it at her. So anybody wants to draw that, meme it at her.
Did you notice that her intro music is the same as her outro music, except that the person saying tits is Bearing on the intro and her in the outro.
I haven't watched a Sugar Tits video in ages, but that sounds right.
It was good. It was about the Target and the guy with the hairy chest and the Adam's apple and all that kind of stuff. And she was right to the point. She's like, look at that cock. She's like, I was like, yo, easy there. You know, like, good God, lady, relax yourself. Jesus. But made me laugh, which is the whole point, right?
I do like Sugar Tits as far as her Twitter goes. I just don't watch her on YouTube because I don't watch Bearing either. It just sort of fell away from them.
Well,
yeah.
They both kind of fell off. Like Bearing still does some stuff, but she really kind of has been caught up with her kiddo.
Yeah.
So she's just basically said that now that their kid's old enough to be, you know, able to go to school or like I don't know, she just has more time to do this. So I support that.
She posted on Twitter like 6 months ago that she'd start doing videos, and then she didn't do videos for another 6 months. And then she posted again and said, I know I said 6 months ago, but it's really going to happen now. And then like not even a week later, she posted this video. So, so hopefully
she's done, I think 2 so far. So I do think she will. She might even have just been planning stuff ahead. Like, you know, things got caught up with her and then planning things ahead. She does seem like the type to kind of do that, but there's so much material for her to cover now because of it too.
Well, the kid's a little bit bigger now, so it's a little less of a stress. So she probably has a little bit more time. But I never stopped watching Bearing. He's every bit as hilarious as he always was.
It's also a lot of the topics that happened last year. Like they've had more time to sit. So if she does bring them up as a topic, she has way more information than the initial launch of them.
Yeah.
So good for her.
Yeah.
I think Sugar Tits accidentally proved the wage gap because she took all this time off and raised some silly little baby. But she could have been making YouTube videos, and now her channel's going to suffer for it.
No.
Yeah.
And she's so cute. Like she has this little picture that she's done where it's just the top end of her face, and you can tell she's got like a Cheshire grin.
Yeah, I remember when she published her face for the first time, and the first thing she did was she just did the top of her eyes.
Yeah.
And then she came out later and did a whole face reveal kind of deal. She's a very pretty woman.
She is. She's
very pretty. But yeah, so I mean, you know, her point was about Target. Obviously, Lauren Chen did a thing about Target, so it's a hot topic. So it's nice to be
it's Target. That's a different story.
Yeah, it's nice to be in good company with these other creators. Although I don't create content, I do podcasts. But you know, it is something to talk about because if the same thing happens to Target that happened to Bud Light, Target's in trouble. And supposedly, according to what I'm seeing on YouTube, they're kind of panicked right now about this because they're afraid of what could happen.
I think Target will not suffer to the same extent as Bud Light just because of who shops there. Like, Bud Light pissed off their core audience of like conservative men, which is like, you can't like because they're like their core audience is that when they came out with the trans stuff, they pissed off all the people and they're like, okay, well, fuck, I'm done. Like the lefty women, I'm pretty sure are pretty happy to keep shopping at Target, whereas the number of lefty women who would have been Bud Light customers is probably quite small.
Yeah, but Target's kind of like the other Walmart, so I could see it doing a little bit of damage, and it really just depends on Walmart.
No, I'm not saying it'll do none. I'm just saying the damage will be far less because Target's core audience, like if all the conservative men stopped going to Target, I think Target could survive. It would be a financial hit, but
it's not the
to
men.
The same extent as Bud Light.
It's not the men you got to worry about on that one, Terry. It's actually the women. Like if the women actually think that you're preying upon their kids, it's going to be men and women.
Yeah. If they get the women offside, and then they're fucked. But as long as it's like people like Matt Walsh and Ben Shapiro that are pissed off. Like, I don't care.
It's not, though. Like, most of the videos that were coming out based off of Target were conservative women.
Yeah, but I think overall women tend to be less conservative than men, just as a general rule. So I think the number of conservative women who would boycott Target is quite a lot smaller than the number of conservative men who are boycotting Bud.
Except for that the women now perceive this trans movement as being an attack on them.
Well, they should. It's about time.
It is. It literally is that. So they should, but
I see what you're saying, but I think the only way that they could really reroute, and the truth of the matter is, as much as everyone's going after Target, Walmart is peddling the same crap. I hate to break it to you, but Walmart is on the same international line.
But it's also socially unacceptable to be against the transes. It's so like the women are also tend to be very social minded, where if it's socially unacceptable to do something, not nearly as many women are willing to say, no, I don't care, I'm still going to do it. Most of them are like, well, no, being socially outcast would be devastating to me. So I can't, I'm just going to go along with it. And like, it makes sense because like, if you go back to hunter-gatherer times, the women needed to be social and ostracization was a death sentence. So it kind of makes sense that they're, very, very eager to fit in with what society says.
What drives me crazy about all this is that the trans movement hurts women the most.
Yes.
And they are also the ones that are most accommodating towards it. It's like you're asking for your own punishment. Women are saying, yeah, no, we support trans. It doesn't matter if they're in our bathrooms. It's like, wait a minute. It doesn't bother me as a man that there's a man in your bathroom. It's not going to hurt me. It's potentially going to hurt you. You should be against this, not me, even though I am.
No, but they've actually done studies, and white women have the biggest out-group bias. Like most civilizations have an in-group bias where they like prefer people within their own culture and sort of like don't really like outsiders. White women have the highest rate where it's the opposite, where they will actively hate their own group and prefer the outsiders. And that's what's causing all the problems.
I saw that on the Bill Maher show. He quoted that exact stat where he said of all the people in all the categories that white progressive women hated themselves more than anybody else.
Yeah. And it's not just hating themselves. They actively prefer outsiders. Like they prefer the immigrants and like the blacks and the Mexicans and like everyone who isn't white. They're the only group that has that strong of an out-group bias against themselves. Yeah.
And it was just mostly progressive lefties. Like even the moderate women were not as bad. And when you got to conservative, it was just the opposite. So it was just that one corner, but that's a big amount of people.
It is.
You don't hate yourself, do you, Jen?
No.
No?
Not at all.
No hesitation at all. I like to hear that.
Well, why? I don't know why anyone would hate themselves. I mean, I know a lot of people do, but don't.
Like, there was no point, even when I was interested in tomboyish type things or the odd thing that I know was probably geared more towards men, that at no point when I was doing any of those things did I suddenly think I was one. I was kind of proud of the fact that I was a woman and interested in those things.
Yeah, no, there's a difference between having slightly not untraditional interests and being the opposite sex. That's just I don't know how that got lost to history, but it is possible. It is.
The thing that I like about this, if there is a something to like about it, is that this is men doing this. Men are moving into women's spaces. Their bathrooms, their sports, anything that's been set aside for them, men are doing this. And the people who are most vocal about it are other men.
Yeah.
I find that encouraging that men are willing to call out the bad behavior of other men.
Yeah, but the thing that undermines it all is the women don't complain. Like, well, some of them do, but not enough of them complain. They're like, no, why are you complaining about a man in a woman's bathroom? He's a brave and powerful female,
It's
figure of beauty. It's like,
it's
shut.
the mass normies that are not doing it, because
Yeah,
you have people, Lauren Southern, Lauren Chen, the Lauren sisters,
yeah,
Candace Owens. You have plenty of women online, on Twitter, on YouTube,
sure.
and media like that, who are, who's in the new girl, the swimmer, was it, or the
Riley
volleyball?
Gaines.
Yeah,
That's
Riley
it.
Gaines. That's another one. There's a lot of women online who are protesting it, but you just don't see
That's
that.
the vast minority, though.
Yeah, exactly. But you just don't see it in the big piece of the progressive You don't see anybody in California going crazy. Any of the women in California, as a general rule. I'm sure there's, I say bad things about California in that respect, that it's a liberal hellhole, but it's really, if you look at the demographics of California, a lot of the red parts in California, and there are quite a bit of them, get a lot of shit for the big blue parts. So
Yeah,
I
I
shouldn't
forget
say everybody in California is a lost cause.
no, because I forget which state they were comparing it to, but just because of the sheer size of California, there were actually more Trump voters in California than in like Kansas or something. I forget which conservative state they compared
Hmm.
it to, but
Hmm.
there were more Trump voters in California than in like some deep red
Texas,
state. No,
Tennessee,
not Texas. It wasn't Texas. It
Florida.
was one of the states with a smaller population that is very, very conservative.
Rhode Island.
No, it was not that one.
No, that's the smallest
It
one.
was like
That's
so
what I can think of.
one of the fairly low population density
Oh,
states.
like the Dakotas, Montana, Michigan, those kind
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
places. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That sort of thing. It was like low population density, and therefore, even though it was like a deep red state as far as voting goes, there were still more Trump voters in California just because of the sheer size of the place.
Spud says in chat, he sent it to Minion, so I didn't catch it right away. As I said on Pat's stream, I guess that's your boy Pat. Fuck them. Women brought this on themselves and are now reaping what they've sown. I understand how you feel about it. I share the feeling that you feel, but it's hard for me to just say, well, women. I can't make the net that big. I just can't say women. I have to at least knock it down to progressive women, especially coastal city women from big
Yes.
cities. I can't just say women to this, because believe me, there are plenty of women who want no part of this, especially in red states. There's just not
Yeah,
that many of them.
not enough of
So
them, basically.
not enough. Yeah. Yeah. But we'll see. To kind of slide off to another topic, with DeSantis being in the polls now, women like that guy. And women are a big part of the voter base.
Oh,
So
easy test. Jen, is that true? Do you like Ron DeSantis?
I would vote for him. Yeah, I don't
There you go.
dislike him. I mean,
we-
don't trust anybody, but based off of what you have, yeah, vote for him.
That's the vote you have.
100%
That's
of
so
women
true.
surveyed, 100% of women surveyed said they would vote for Ron DeSantis. I think that proves it.
Like,
100% of the one person that
He
we
is
just asked.
he is the good. He is a good man. I think women can pick that out better than anybody else can. That they can see a man who's a husband, a father, doesn't cheat, has morals, tries to do his best, all the things that you would want. I always disagree with what you consider the alpha male as opposed to the good man. I don't think women really want the alpha male. I think men who are quote unquote alpha males want you to be like them, but the alpha male is not the pinnacle. I think the good man, if I had to create my own category here, I'm sure I would get a check mark on Scribe's bingo sheet by creating my own category here. But I think the good man, if you can quote that, is what really women really end up wanting to have. And DeSantis has no minuses. Even the things that he's done that are questionable, like he spent like 2 months where he wasn't in his office and he got a lot of shit for it. His wife was battling cancer at the time. He was at the hospital. You know, I mean, it's like even when he does stuff that's wrong, he has a really good reason for doing it.
Yeah.
It's also the fact that everything that the Dems and the left has been peddling in terms of what they think anything is has been pure fake. Like, so I asked this question a week ago. How long does it actually take for beer to expire? So I Googled it.
Mhm.
It takes 3 years, 2 to 3 years. And then I realized that there were 2 stories being peddled on this Budweiser. One that they were pulling beer, which makes sense if you want to do it in a quick flash and repaint those cans so they look like they have camo on it and just switch out the lid, or you leave it until it expires. But here's the thing. They had places that absolutely were peddling old beer because it expired, which means they had beer that was probably 2.5 years old that they were selling you. And then they sell their beer off of what is very clearly propaganda. This is purely propaganda, because if it wasn't propaganda, you could sell your fucking beer by the way it's like you know that you're being peddled crap. You know, and you were fine with it when it was just for a party because it's a cheap beer that's just, for fun. But you're being peddled crap and they're selling you based off of their propaganda, and it has absolutely nothing to do with you. And it's covering up the problem, which is you're buying crap that's 2.5 years old. It's
crazy.
Fake. It's fake. And you're going to put somebody who's clearly mentally ill and obsessed with Audrey Hepburn. You know, like what Dylan is representing is absolutely not a good thing for women at all. Actually, like I get the culture of women. Yeah, I'm sorry, sex can sell. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little thing. And I know a lot of feminists find that really, really sexist. You know, it's okay if they do it for the Dems, you know, but you know, if anybody else does it for their own reasons.
I would just like to go on the record. I have never bought sex.
That's a good idea, because that's illegal.
No, it's not in Australia. It's not.
Oh, okay. Oh,
But I still think it's a waste of money. So I would never actually buy it. So.
Well,
go ahead.
I was going to say that the expiration date for beer, as opposed to where it doesn't taste as good as it should, it doesn't taste fresh, is not necessarily the same date. I think if you have a bottle, especially a bottle that is clear or green, light screws with beer. So if you have a light bottle or a clear bottle, like Corona is a clear bottle, it goes bad quick, but doesn't expire. After 3 or 4 months, it doesn't taste the same. It doesn't expire, but it's not fresh anymore.
That's why they make a distinction between use by and best before. Use by means if you hit this date, it'll probably make you sick to eat it. Best before just means it probably won't taste the best, but it's safe to eat, even if it's past the best before date.
I have a poll for everybody. We're going to start doing this poll. If you guys like it, we'll continue to do the poll, but trying to pick an outro song at the end of the night is I just can't make the decision. I have a hard time picking an outro song at the end of the night. So what I've done is I've randomized my list of outro songs, because I've got about 35 of them, and 4 songs were picked by chance. So I'm going to put a poll out there. I'm going to let you guys go ahead and decide what song you want to see at the end of the show tonight. So go ahead and vote for what you want, and we'll move on to another topic. I'll leave that out there for a little while for you guys to decide on what you want to listen to. Not a big deal, but you know, for me, being a person who has a hard time choosing music, I I like that Big Runga song "Sway." I think that's a fucking awesome song, but I don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over again. We already have a repetitive intro song. I don't want to do a repetitive outro song too.
I also have like trouble deciding these things, especially
Mhm.
when it's like completely arbitrary and it's
Yeah.
like has like no real stakes involved. So that's why I always do things in alphabetical order.
Mhm.
So like if I'm trying to decide what game to play next on Steam, it's like there's no real reason to pick one over the other unless there's like a game I desperately want to play. But like if I'm just like, let's say, I'll just go to the top of my alphabetical order list and go,
Mhm.
okay,
Pick the next
let's
one.
play that one.
Yeah.
The next one that I haven't played in alphabetical order. So I've played a lot more games starting with A than I have with say P or S.
When it's completely arbitrary, yeah, I have that hard time. If there's something that leans one way or the other, it's not too big of a deal for me. But yeah, if it's something arbitrary, I have a hard time making that decision. I need to have some kind of guiding input, something that says, "Yeah, you
Yeah,
want to lean more this way, lean more that way." Then it's pretty easy to make a decision. But when it's like, rolling the dice, it's like
hmm.
you know, I just don't like the whole
Yeah.
idea of a
Like
D20 making decisions
if
for me.
there's no real reason to pick one option over the other, then yeah, you kind of dither in indecision because like it doesn't matter. And so it's like if it was something where it's like, okay, no, I definitely want this, then yeah, you just make that decision. It's like it's very easy. But when there's nothing at stake and there's no real reason to pick one over the other, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
So we've talked about Target and we talked about Ron DeSantis.
Yeah.
If one of you two has time, check and see if he's actually done that. Has he's really declared yet, or is that, I don't know. He was supposed to do it today, but I don't know if it's been done or if it's happening
I
now.
I, I I have not been on Twitter today. Oh, not much
Not
anyway.
seeing it.
Okay, so maybe it hasn't happened yet. Um, I don't know how much information we're going to have about the Truck of Peace. What does bother me though is that it looks very staged. I don't know if you caught this
Mm-hmm.
on Twitter, but a lot of people are being critical like me and saying I don't believe everything the media tells me. And for them,
Mhm.
I watched the actual him driving into the barrier, and he was going like 3 miles an hour. I mean, maybe there's a little bit of an acceleration right at the end, but it was not 30 miles an hour, screeching tires into the corner, knocking. No, it was nothing like that. Not dramatic at all. He just kind of like, oopsie, ran
You
into
kind of
it.
just bumped into it.
Yeah, it was, and of course they overreacted. They immediately arrested him, threw him to the ground. Ah, you're trying to kill the president. Dude, he bumped into your barrier. And
Yeah.
they find it wasn't on the outside of the truck; it was inside the truck in the back bed, a Nazi flag. So,
Oh,
so instead of
that
retaining the
automatically makes me think it's staged.
yeah, instead of retaining the evidence so that it could be properly investigated, they take the flag out of the back, they lay it on the ground in front of the truck so that the media could take pictures of it.
Yeah.
What are
No,
you
that
trying
sounds
to?
very suspicious. I don't believe it for a second.
And they seem to have run out of white guys to blame Nazi propaganda on because this guy's not white.
Yeah. Adam in chat says it's official, so I'm assuming he means Ron
It
has
happened.
officially
It's
declared for
happened.
president.
Oh, okay.
It's the happening has happened.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's on
Oh.
Fox News or CNN or something like that. They probably already did
Probably.
it, but I'd rather listen
Oh,
to
it
Adam.
is.
I'd rather listen to Adam anyway. So it is done. He has
Yeah, no, it is. It's they're recording it now. That's
yeah,
interesting.
he has chosen wisely. So yeah, with typical critical thought on this, I don't believe anything somebody hands me like that. And I believe that this is the same idea. I think this is entirely completely a setup.
Anytime a Nazi flag is involved, I immediately think it's fake. How many unironic Nazis are in the United States, really?
Yeah.
Like 4?
Maybe 5. A case could be made for 5.
Well, if you want to go with the Alex Jones dark web, you can consider anybody a part of the WF to be led by somebody who was a Nazi.
That's
Because
true.
Klaus Schwab's, Klaus has some dirty fingers,
Jack says in chat, Fed. I would love to play that sounder, but Matt already uses it, so I don't want to be a copycat. But yeah, that was Ted Cruz questioning somebody about who's the guy with the red hat that was that tried to get everybody to go into the Capitol that they think is a Fed. The one guy that they won't interview.
Was it the Ray Epps guy?
Ray Epps, yeah. And when Cruz was talking about Ray Epps, he was like, everyone was saying in the crowd, Fed. Yeah. And Matt clipped that out. It's hilarious. But yeah, I mean, they've run out of white people to blame as being Nazis. Now they have people of color to blame as Nazis. And the Atlantic,
they have to outsource the racism to brown guys.
The Atlantic said white supremacy is not just for white people anymore.
Yeah.
What? That's right. All you black people out there in the real world, you're all white supremacists too.
Well, I mean, I've known Satya was a white supremacist ever since I started watching the show.
You shouldn't say that when he's not here. People are going to believe you. Thank you. Spud Gun got it. Thank you, Ray Epps. Yes, that was the guy. I always get him and Coach Red Pill.
Well, yeah.
I always, because they kind of look the same. Ray Epps and Coach Red Pill kind of look alike. If you ever seen pictures of them, they look like the same guy. But didn't something happen to Coach Red Pill? Didn't he get killed or something, or arrested? Or
he did. He got arrested. People thought he was dead for a while, but then he showed up again. He released a video saying that no, everything's fine. I'm okay. Yeah. But recently he did get arrested for pro-Russian propaganda while he was in Ukraine. So yeah, he got arrested for that. I don't know the details. I don't know if it was justified or not, but that's what he was arrested for.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they thought before that he was dead. Now he may actually be dead.
Maybe.
Ukraine is not the United States. They have a whole set of different rules over there. Oh, by the way, Jack's here, so we probably have to close the stream down.
Yeah. I said that as soon as I saw him. He's like, nope, too early.
Okay. So we've covered everything basically that I had on my list of tonight's show. So I know Jen mentioned something before the show that she wanted to talk about.
Well, it doesn't need to be a big in-depth thing. It just honestly made me feel old because Tina Turner died. I was like, oh, she was a classic. And I don't doubt she was probably goofy like most people in Hollywood were. But yeah.
Now that she's dead, does that mean we do need another hero?
That's not her song, but probably. She's What's Love Got to Do With It? That's her song. Mm-hmm. Hero is Bonnie Tyler.
No. Bonnie Tyler did need a hero. Tina Turner was We Don't Need Another Hero.
I'm not familiar with the song.
But,
she did a very
from the Mad Max movie.
Was it from Mad Max? Yeah.
Because I always used to make the joke that Tina Turner should have given one of her unneeded heroes to Bonnie Tyler because Bonnie Tyler did need
She did do a very unique version of Big Wheel, and her voice was iconic. I mean, there's no two ways about. She was an amazing entertainer as well as a good singer. But she had that voice that if you heard Tina Turner talk or sing, you knew immediately, oh yeah, that's Tina Turner.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
you know, she was so distinctive, such a distinctive voice, and an amazing entertainer. Bonnie Tyler was holding out for a hero. Yeah.
Yes, that's the name of the song. But in the song, she sings, "I need a hero."
Yeah. Remember the song that she sung was "Beyond the Thunderdome." That's my favorite song of hers.
Yeah. So it's from Beyond the Thunderdome, and yeah, it's "We Don't Need Another Hero." Is the name of the song. I'm pretty sure.
Gotcha. So yeah, I think she's probably the first musician that I kind of grew up with. I mean, it bothered me a little bit when Prince died.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I like Prince. I like the movie. I liked his music. A very unique entertainer. But it really makes me feel sad to see Tina Turner go because she was a pretty special woman.
I think it's sad when celebrities die because I don't know them. They're not like my friends. It's just. So
I think in a weird way, like she wasn't necessarily as cheerful as like Betty White, but I think for a lot of people because she was so in so many things and so many people respected her,
Mhm.
she might as well be the Black Betty White, because she did have that kind of level of respect from most people. Even if you didn't really care for her music or her movies, she did have a Hollywood legend, just saying.
See, the strongest reaction I've had to a celebrity dying was actually Abe Vigoda.
Mm.
And the reason I had a reason was,
Barney Miller.
oh damn, they're going to have to update that website now, because there was a website that tracked whether Abe Vigoda was alive or not. And it was abevigodastatus.com. It's probably still up. And you could go and check whether Abe Vigoda was alive or not. And then when Abe Vigoda died, it's like, oh damn, they're gonna have to update that website.
He was an old guy when I was a young guy.
Yeah. Oh, he was ancient.
Yeah. It looks like Duran Duran.
I believe it's pronounced Duran.
Duran. We're talking about the eggs now. Duran eggs. Hungry Like the Wolf is our outro song for the evening.
Yeah, that's what I voted for.
Thank you, chat, for picking one. I wish I could run that same kind of poll on Rumble, but Rumble doesn't have poll. It doesn't have the option to run polls. So,
I mean, given what we were just talking about, do you have any Tina Turner songs on your list?
Not on my list. I did play the hit that I was just mentioning. What's Love Got to Do with It? I did find a version out there that was instrumental, but that whole song is her voice. Mm-hmm. So if you just listen to just the music, you take your voice out, it's very plain. The song becomes very plain very quickly. There was a mix out there where she was singing that sounded pretty good, because they didn't really speed it up, but they added percussion to it. It became less of a ballad and more of a pop tune. That was kind of interesting, but I looking at them, I couldn't really find one that fit the show in any way or sounded good without her voice. And of course, it's kind of been a rule for me not to have a singer, because I'm talking and I don't want to talk over someone else talking.
Right. That makes sense.
So that's why it's always instrumentals for me. But yeah, I did play it, and I was kind of like, it kind of made me feel sad. I was like, oh man, she's gone now. I'm listening to her songs, and she was great. And it's kind of bothered me a little bit, but I really couldn't find anything that would. It doesn't take long. All you have to do is got YouTube, find the song and put the word instrumental after it. And if there is an instrumental version, then you could just download it right there and have it for yourself. But if there is, just for people who are, by the way, hello, Cynic. But if there is people out there who want a specific song for me to play, just send me a DM on Twitter, and I'll go grab a copy and use that as an option to the next poll and let people pick.
I posted the Tina Turner song and tagged you in it, Hammer, so you can see what the song I was talking about.
Okay. All right. Cool. Thank you. Yeah, but I have no more besides the Tina Turner thing. I don't really have anything else on the list of things to chat about tonight. But it looks like that now that we've run out of topics, that this stream is pretty solid. Oh, as soon as I say that, stream dips. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Hey, the stream looks great, and then bonk. I'm not talking about it anymore. I'm not even going to look at the meter anymore. I'm jinxing this. Yeah, I got your DM.
I think it hasn't shown up on the stream yet, because it looks fine so far, but it'll probably.
I'm seeing it live. You'll see it in 12 seconds. Actually, there's a difference. I think there's a difference.
I just saw it.
Yeah. I think there's a difference between Rumble and YouTube in the delay, because I know YouTube is roughly 12 seconds.
Yes, it is.
Because I bet on it when I start the stream. I'm like, okay, 1, 2, 3. I mean, I hit a button kind of deal. But I think the number for Rumble is a lot shorter. Now, I don't know if it's because I'm broadcasting 4K 60 frames to YouTube, and I'm only running 1080p 30 frames to Rumble. I don't know if that's the reason why. I would like to go 4K to both. I like to go 60 to both, but Rumble doesn't have that capability. Rumble doesn't support 4K, at least not as far as I can find. Every time I try to run 4K with reasonable settings by itself, just as a test, it never comes out as 4K. So I don't think they support it. I don't think they support 60.
Saying that Rolf Harris is dead. Yes, he died a while ago. He's dead.
Who's he?
He's an Australian musician. known for being a bit of a sex offender with regards to the children. So not
Wow.
one that people are terribly sad to see gone. Like he was widely beloved until it came out that, oh God, that's what he was doing. But no, he has been revealed to have been inappropriate with children, and so
And
yeah,
of the
when he
playground.
died, not a huge loss, I got to say.
Russ is giving me a hard time now. We're in IMAX. Is he in a band or was he a solo artist?
Solo.
He was a solo guy.
Yeah.
I'm a typical American. I don't know anything about American music.
No, I don't think he was known outside of Australia. Spud apparently knows of him, but I think it's pretty rare for non-Australians to really know or care who Rolf Harris is.
I do know some Australian people, but only because they've made inroads in American music.
Yeah, I
Like
mean, you know who Hugh Jackman is. He's Australian, and you know who he is, but that's because he's famous in America.
well, yeah, but I mean, as far as musicians, it's easy to get celebrities. That's a thing, but music is I think that's a little bit separate category. Like
Well, you know AC/DC.
I know
They're
AC/DC,
Australian.
but I didn't know they were Australian.
I mean, it depends. They were all born in Scotland,
Right.
but they grew up in Australia. So I mean, I think
Uh,
they consider themselves Australian. They have Australian citizenship. Um,
Natalie
but
Imbruglia, she's
but
Australian,
yeah,
born and raised.
by birth they are all Scottish.
Right. So I mean, I know her, but I don't think there's one other girl who does a song called Pictures of You, Pictures of Me, hung upon your wall for the world to see. I don't know if you know that song. She's an Australian artist. I know her. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but I really don't know very many. Oh, you have a Men at Work, right?
Oh yeah.
And so there's groups.
To answer Frosted, yes, he was the tiny kangaroo down sport guy, and apparently he was beloved in England until the whole situation came to light. So there you go. I didn't know he was that popular over in England.
Yeah, I mean, I've mentioned this many times. America just doesn't seem to care about anybody else except Americans.
Well, I mean, Yahoo Serious had like one successful movie in America. I think Young Einstein did all right in America, and
Hmm.
then he just fell off the face of the planet.
We're the same way with Canada. We just accept people for being celebrities and we don't even know they're Canadian. I mean, how many people did not know Bieber was Canadian? How many people didn't know Shatner was Canadian? There's plenty of people who are Canadians who are we consider to be American actors just because they're on the same continent.
Yeah,
But they weren't born here. So,
and Adam says I thought Australians would say Akadaka. I mean that's a nickname for the band. I don't really use it, but yeah, no. If someone
is
said
that
Akadaka, I'd know who they meant.
well, yeah. But I mean, like here it's McDonald's. In Australia, it's Macca's.
Macca's.
Yeah. So
But
I
that's
mean,
the same
there's
thing. That's a nickname. It's not called Macca's. It's called McDonald's. It's just that.
just everybody refers to it that way. Because in
Yeah,
America, there is an equivalent in America. In America, we call it Mickey D's.
right. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Our nickname for McDonald's is Macca's. It's not like it's a different like with Burger King. We don't have Burger King. We have Hungry Jack's. It's the same business. It's just for some reason they had to change the name. I'm guessing it
So
was like
flame grilled burgers,
yeah,
that kind of deal.
Burger King and Hungry Jack's are the same company. It's
Oh,
just that in Australia, I'm guessing there was already a Burger King that they couldn't get like
oh, the
the
name.
name, so they had to come up with something else. But it is the same company.
Macca's always makes me laugh when I hear it, not because it's Australians, because it's too close to the word Nackers. Somebody who's kind of crazy is knackers.
Right.
So, talking about it over the YouTubes, over the interwebs, and stuff like that, it's close enough when somebody's saying it that I associate the two words and it makes me laugh.
Yeah, fair enough. But a lot of Australian nicknames are like that. Akadaka, Macca's. with with like people's names, we often put Z's in there. So like,
Yeah.
like my nickname, no one really called me that except my, like my like school friends. But Tezza would be like would be an Australian nickname for Terry.
Yeah.
Um,
They do that with the
and-
guy from not Fifth Gear, Top Gear. They called him Jezza.
yeah. Jez or Jezza is a common nickname for Jeremy.
Yeah.
Gaza would be like Gary or Gavin. You know, there's like lots of ways to do it.
You guys like your Zeds entirely too much.
And yes, people in chat are saying knackers are the testicles. Yes, that is also true.
Apparently, Cynic's saying that Burger King was already trademarked.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I know, Frosted. I'm with you. Trust me, I'm with you.
No. Frosted is apparently talking about the board game reviewer Z Garcia. He's a nice guy. I don't know what the relevance of bringing him up in chat is, though.
Are we going to do the cereal equals sequel? Cereal is soup? Are we going to get that argument?
Well, Z is the final letter of the alphabet. Z is the board game reviewer that works with the Dice Tower. It's very simple. I don't know what there is to argue about.
The thing is, the format is what bothers me about this, because you only use the ED only for the letter Z. You don't use ED for anything else.
Yeah.
That's why it stands out as being an anomaly amongst the rest of the alphabet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to pretend to know why it's called Z, but it is. So that's how it is.
Yeah. So Z gets an ED, but T does not get an ED unless somebody's proper name. So it's inconsistent. Yeah. That's what bothers me. And I've had this argument before with people from the UK and stuff like that. People who are into the metric system. It's like if you really believed in it, you would use it for everything, and you don't. So I can't get on board with it. The same thing with the letter Z in America versus everywhere else. Is that, well, why would everything else not have an ED, but only Z does? It doesn't make any sense to me. I can't deal.
Good.
Silly stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to pretend to know the reason why they called the final letter Z instead of Z, but they did. So, I mean, the people who invented the language call it Z. So I'm gonna say they got it right.
Well, the only reason you guys are doing it is because you used to be, from England. And they did it. Yeah. So it just went with you, kind of deal.
Yeah. So, I mean, we were literally English prisoners. Like we obviously
send them off to Australia,
English
penal
history.
colony.
Yeah.
Is that really true, though? Is that just some people that happened to, but some people just moved because they wanted to?
So it was a penal colony, as in if you were arrested, one of the possible sentencings that you could receive was transportation, and they would send you to Australia. That was the punishment. But there were obviously non-prisoners on Australia as well. There's like prison guards had to keep them in line.
Right.
So but yes, it was a literal prison island.
It started off that way.
Yes, it is no longer, but
it's no longer. No, probably not.
The Aborigines were there as well, obviously, and a good number of them got killed in the colonization.
Yeah, we all have that.
Which is why modern day Australia keeps bending over backwards to suck up to the Aborigines, which I think is annoying.
Yeah, we all have our. What did Tom McDonald say in his America video? Every flag has a little blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just want to give Spud credit for actually spelling jail correctly. Very few people spell it correctly anymore.
I'm not following you. How do you spell it?
Most people go with Jail, which is the American spelling. So credit to Spud for using the right spelling.
What is the quote correct spelling?
GAOL is how you spell jail.
When you kick a ball through The backdrop in soccer. What do you call that?
That's a goal. GOAL. The vowels are reversed.
Kind of the same thing, just reverse the vowels. Okay. I'll give you Zed, man. You want to talk to you use Zed, use it all you want. I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, I don't actually care. I mean, I'm not going to be deeply wounded that Americans call it Z. It doesn't matter. It's just funny in the same way that I pretend to like despise people who put pineapple on pizzas. It doesn't actually affect my life. You
It
do
doesn't
what you
matter to
want.
you at
Your
all. You'll eat
pizza.
it if it's free.
Well, not only that, I don't care what, but like if it's your pizza, I don't care if you put pineapple on it. I'm not going to actually dislike you for
Is that
that.
not a thing in Australia? Like, could you not be? Would it be unusual for you to do that? Like, it's kind of commonplace here.
No. It's a common pizza topping. I'm just saying that the whole internet debate over pineapple on
Yeah,
pizza.
yeah,
I don't actually have a stake in it. You can put whatever you want on your
yeah.
pizza. But I pretend to be passionately anti-pineapple because it's funny.
With Canada,
Yes, but what if somebody gave you a pizza with kiwi on it?
I mean,
what?
you give me food, I'll probably eat it. I think it would be incredibly rude to turn down something. Like if someone offers you something, and it's not like something that's obviously harmful. Like if someone offered you poison, don't drink it. I'm just saying that like if someone offers you something as a present, it's pretty rude to say no. I don't like that.
I don't think kiwi would work anyway. It's just I don't know.
No. There's people who put kiwi on pizza.
Is
Oh,
pineapple
God.
on pizza? Is that a thing in Canada? Because you guys are kind of
Yeah.
known for your ham already. So
Well, we might be on. Yeah, if you Google that, it tells you who invented it. So, but I like pineapple on my pizza, but it really depends on who's making it
yeah,
because it depends on two things: the ham and the pineapple. Like if it's crab ham, it's crab pizza. If it's crab pineapple, it's crab pizza.
No, my stance is I wouldn't order it, but if like I went down to Melbourne to visit the family and they ordered ham and pineapple pizza, so I'll still eat it. I'm not going to be like, no, I swore on the internet never to eat. No.
yeah. There's some stuff on pizzas I won't eat, but I'm a plain vanilla kind of guy. If I'm going to order a pizza, it's generally just plain. I may put some hamburger topping on it or something like that, but I'm not pepperoni, and all that. No, I rather taste the actual pizza, not the hamburger's pretty mild as a topping. You start putting anchovies on, I'm out.
I like anchovies. Not on pizza. I think they don't go well with pizza, but just in general, anchovies are nice. I mean, I like salt, so I like anchovies.
I think your entire culture is a little bit more savvy with salt.
Yes.
Than we
but no, like if you gave me a tin of anchovies, I'd eat them. I like them. It's just that the saltiness tends to overpower the rest of the pizza. So I can understand why people don't like them on pizza. But anchovies just on their own, yeah, they've got no problem with.
Yeah. Blech. Hate anchovies.
Yeah. No, I mean a lot of people do. Not many people like that amount of salt.
It's got to be an Australian thing. I can't imagine. I don't think I know anybody in my real life who likes anchovies on their pizza. Nobody does.
I think it's actually a hereditary thing because my dad used to eat like salt. He would like take a teaspoon of salt and just eat it.
Ugh.
Now I've never done that. I don't like salt that much, but he used to do that, and I'm guessing I inherited a taste for salt.
Cannibalistic Wizard says meat lovers pizza with pineapple is best pizza. Side of ranch to dip even better. What is on a meat lovers? I know pepperoni's on meat lovers. What else is on a meat lovers? Bacon and ham and
sausage.
Sausage, all the meats.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the meats.
Usually a beef crumble if they have it. So
Yeah. I just think of it as various meats.
Nick likes anchovies.
Yeah, cynic like, and
But-
Cannibalistic says that they're fish bait, which is probably true. You could use them to catch fish.
Using a fish to catch a fish. Something's entirely wrong about that. All right. Well, we are 6 minutes after. You guys have anything else you want to get at? And we can.
No. I think we covered everything.
What did I say? Duran? Is that what we picked on the poll
Yes.
today? Okay.
That's
Let's
right.
Go ahead and get out of here then. Thanks, fam, as always, for chatting with us tonight. If you can't wait for the next Wednesday show, remember the Minions are live every evening, including weekends, with most shows starting around 11:30 p.m. Eastern, 7 days a week. Post and start times are listed in the link are linked in the description down below. Don't forget about our pre-show on Rumble. I want to thank our Rumblers for joining us in the pre-show, because we had some interesting conversations that before the 9 p.m. hour.
Our
That's
rumblers in the junglers.
Our Rumblers. That stream usually starts around 8:40, 8:45-ish. So it's only 15 minutes before the 9 o'clock show starts.
Yes.
Of course, we'll be back next Wednesday at 9 p.m. as usual on YouTube. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we'll see you again next week. Have a great night,
Yeah, have
everybody.
a good one, guys.
Bye, guys.